Welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. Today we head up to East Brunswick High School for an action-packed preview as the various athletic teams prepare for Greater Middlesex County and state tournament playoffs. Then Al Nygren stops by the EBTV studios to let us know about the upcoming New Jersey Film Festival's summer lineup, and you won't want to miss some of the extraordinary films that will be debuting at the festival. Patrolman Craig Hoover of the East Brunswick Police Department brings us another edition of Street Smart as he and Patrolman James Angermeyer talk about prom and graduation safety. So stay with us.
Well, it's Tuesday here at East Brunswick High School at the track, and I'm here with Coach Steege, and we're getting ready for the upcoming sectionals. Coach Steege, what's going on?
Like you said, sectionals is in next weekend. We're looking, for a better performance than last year. So our 4x4 is improved, our 4x1's improved. We have a lot of good sprinters. Our distance runners are much better. Our captains this year, I've been very, very pleased with. They do a good job of keeping kids relaxed and just doing everything we can to keep them in high spirits. So I think so far so good.
And now I have one of the co-captains of the girls team, Jesse Pang. Jesse, you've got a dual meet tomorrow against J.P. Stevens, and it's your last dual meet for your career here. Any thoughts?
It's really exciting, but I'm a little nervous. But it's going to be really fun because it's the last one, and we can show how we've been doing this whole season.
All right, so what's going to happen in September? Where are you going? What are you majoring, and why did you choose that school?
I'm going to Rutgers. And I chose this school closer to home. My parents didn't really want me to go anywhere far. And I'm majoring in animal science.
Now I'm here with Anthony Belgrave, who is one of our outstanding sprinters, but also a hurdler. Of the two, what's your favorite event, Anthony?
I really love the 110 hurdles. It's a very technically sound race, and I just love to run it each time I get the opportunity to.
Who's your favorite hurdler of all time?
I'd have to say Ronaldo Nehemiah. Absolutely phenomenal when it comes to hurdling, so he's definitely one of my favorites.
Do you know who used to work out on this track?
Yeah, Coach Ty he told me about it. We actually talked about this earlier this year and found out about it.
So maybe you're the next Skeets, who knows? All right, tomorrow we got St. Joe's. It's home. It's your last home meet. Any thoughts about senior night, your last time running competitively on this track?
I'm definitely going to go all out. I've had a lot of memories on this track from the very first moment I stepped on this track, and St. Joe's is always a rivalry, so we want to win that meet, and I'm just going to do my best, as is everybody else on this team.
And any predictions for the sectionals that are coming up in 2 weeks?
We should do well on both sides, both boys and girls. I know I have a chance to make it to the top 8 for the sectionals, so I'm just going to prepare on the track, work as hard as possible, and just encourage all the rest of my teammates who are trying to do the same thing as well.
Good, I like that. Come September, where are we going? What are we doing?
I committed to Rutgers School of Arts and Sciences. I'm looking at a career in exercise science, so physical therapy, and I'm excited for the next chapter.
You going to try to run there?
Yeah, I am going to try to run. It's a lot of work, so I'm going to be preparing in the off season and see what happens there.
Now, obviously, we're here at the baseball field, and I'm here with Coach Kenny, the coach of the division champs. Coach, congratulations, division champs. You had to win 3 in the end to do that. Any thoughts on those last few games?
Yeah, coming into it, we were talking the entire year how we would have a shot at winning the title. We've always believed in ourselves, and coming down to face the top team in the division and sweeping them was really huge for us. Gave us a lot of momentum.
That's the first division champion, I guess, in around 8 years for East Brunswick. And I always put a lot of thought and a lot of credence in the division championship because that meant you were good throughout the entire year. So congratulations to you and the men. Now starts the second season. We got the GMC starting. We got Metuchen coming up. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I think we have a good opportunity to go all the way through the tournament. We've got 2 real good arms, and Cody and Vic. And we're hitting real well, fielding, and playing well as a team. This is a nice group of kids who have really come together and become a family.
And one of our outstanding leaders for this championship baseball team, Cody Burnham. Cody, congratulations. You're having a really breakout year, not only pitching but at the plate. But first of all, congratulations on the division championship. You had to do it the hard way.
It wasn't an easy journey. We had to play 2 big games against Old Bridge. honestly, I was expecting a battle, but I don't think I was expecting to win both games. But we came together as a team, and we played our hearts out.
What do you enjoy more, pitching or playing first base?
It's kind of 50-50. I mean, I like pitching because I can control the game, and everything kind of revolves around me. But at the plate, I feel like one good at bat or two good at bats can change a whole outcome of the game.
So, and now finally, why New Orleans? How did you pick them, and what's going to be your education major?
It actually started off as a joke. I was playing first base, not even pitching, and the first base coach from the other team was just watching me throw, and he said, "Do you want to play at the University of New Orleans?" And at the time, I wasn't really being recruited by anyone, so I said yes. A month or two goes by, and I get a call from their head pitching coach, and from there, it kind of went on. He flew out here to watch me pitch over the fall. Right after that game, he kind of told me he wanted me to come play for them. So it came as a shock. It all happened really fast, but I went down there. It's a beautiful area. Everybody in that organization is just nice. They're just good people. So
Well, you're a good person. It'll be a great fit, and good luck in the upcoming tournament. And any individual accolade you get is well deserved.
thank you.
Now I'm with Vic Dutka, one of the outstanding junior athletes. You had a outstanding season so far. Big wins in the at the Old Bridge game. You pitched outstanding, and you're pitching today against Metuchen. Any thoughts about today's game in the GMC tournament?
I just look forward to this game. I look forward to each game I play, and I'm going to come out here and give it everything I have.
Do you like to be number one seed, or would you rather be the 2 or 3, or what's your thoughts on that?
I definitely like being number one. Like, it's the first time it's happened, and it feels great. And the other teams, like, they come and look at you instead of like number 10 or 6 or something. They go, "Oh, we can give a few mistakes here. They mess up, and that's gonna eat at them for a while or for the duration of the game."
Okay, now it's volleyball, and it's GMC time, and I'm here with Dylan, one of our senior leaders. Dylan, we kind of hit a little tough spot at the end of the year, but we got the upcoming GMCs, and we're always one of the top favorites to win that. Any thoughts about the upcoming tournament?
Well, we definitely have an opportunity to do well and take it one game at a time. And we've been working hard in practice lately. Like you said, had some bumps in the season, but we're definitely doing well now, so we'll see what we do.
Any thoughts about finishing out your career?
We want to do as well as we could. We know we have a lot of potential as a team, but we have to work hard every day and come in and do the same thing we've been doing.
All right, Dylan, tell me, next year in September, where are you going to be? What are you doing?
I'm going to Rutgers, New Brunswick. I'm going to study computer science.
Okay, Zach, today is the first round of the GMC tournament. We had a couple practices under our belt after hitting a roadblock at the end of the year. What's your thoughts going into this tournament?
Well, you know, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a little bit of nervous energy going on. We're a good team, but we've thrown a couple big games because we underestimated some teams that we thought were weaker, and you know we've been disappointed at times. But I think we're ready to come in with the momentum and ride it to the finals. Well, you know, you can't let one play carry over into another. We just came off a Super 6, and we had a couple of disappointing defeats, but we rallied back and we beat another big rival of ours. It's just about not letting get in your head and continue having fun out there. We end up taking the game a little too seriously sometimes, and it affects us now and then. So we're just going to try to have fun and be a team and take it to the end.
All right, next September, where are you going to be? What are you doing?
I'm going to Dartmouth College, and I'll hopefully be double majoring in English and chemistry.
Now, Jared, we're the number one seed in Central Jersey, and to me, sometimes that's a target on our back. I don't particularly like it. What's the team's feeling on that?
As a number one seed, we have the expectation that we have to win every match, have the home court advantage. And it is like a target on our back, but we take that. We like the challenge. We're coming out here every day and putting in a lot of effort on and off the court. Well, sectionals, we think we can win. South Brunswick, we won earlier in the season. We had a disappointing loss the other week, but we think if we put our heads down, we really get into it. We get motivated. I think there are very few teams that can beat us.
Now let's jump forward to September. Where are you going to be, and where am I going to see you, and what are you going to be doing?
Well, I'm graduating this year, so I'm going to be at the University of Michigan. I'm not playing tennis, but I'm not playing tennis on the varsity level, but hopefully a club or intramural.
And you want to major in?
I'm undecided right now, but I'm leaning towards pre-med or business.
Now it's softball. It started the GMC tournament, and I'm here with Coach Brady. But first, Coach, let's tell us about that milestone you reached the other day. And I know how conservative you'll be and give the praise to the other people, but quite an accomplishment.
Thank you. Mr. Knopp is referring to my 300th win, which I tell everybody is simply me getting old enough in this job to get 300 wins. But thank you very much, Mr. Knott.
I'm not sure about that. 300 wins at any level in any sport is quite an accomplishment. But let's cut to right now, the present. You've won the division. You're the #1 seed. What's your thoughts about being the #1 seed? As I spoke to tennis and then baseball, now it's the #1 seed for you guys. Do you like that target on the back?
You know, once the seeding sets up who plays who in the tournament, it doesn't mean anything else other than that. You know, we've won the tournament out of all different spots in past years, out of a 3 seed, out of a 7 seed. So seeds don't mean anything. There are 2 teams on the field at a time. Whoever wins advances. That number in front doesn't mean anything. All we want to be is the last team. Not the #1 heading in, but the last one standing at the end.
Now I'm with one of my favorite athletes of all time, Tori. Tori, you're the starting shortstop on the #1 seeded team in the GMC tournament that starts this weekend. What's your thoughts about being the #1 seed?
It's really great to be #1 seed. I know that we really deserve it because we really work hard throughout practice and games. And I hope that we can maintain our #1 seed and eventually win the tournament altogether.
Do you feel that there's any extra pressure being a #1 seed as compared to a #2 or 3?
I don't think there's really any pressure. I know that we're all ready to go. I think even if we were seated lower, that we would still go in there with the same mentality. We just want to work hard and win.
If we can jump to September, where are you going to be in September and what are you going to be doing?
I'm going to be at Arcadia University in Pennsylvania, and I'm going to be studying physical therapy, pre-PT, and I'm also going to be playing softball there too.
I'm here with Coach Murray, and we're getting ready for the upcoming state tournament. But what's the players' thoughts and feelings going into this?
The boys are excited to have an opportunity to go out and play against good competition. We fared well against solid competition this year. Played Hillsborough really tough. Played St. John Vianney really tough. Both good teams that went out in similar style as Hunterdon Central. You know, some good offensive players, solid defense. We're just going to go out and give them a run.
Well, we've always given our best, and it's, I guess, a result of your influence on the kids and their attitude.
We try to push the boys hard, but this year we've been focusing on getting back to basics and making sure that, you know, we're not only working hard but doing our best to, you know, enjoy the game as much as we can, because what's the point of being out here unless you're having fun?
And tell me about a couple of the kids, couple outstanding players that you'd like to just mention for us.
We had 2 first-team All-Conference players this year, John Korowski and Dan Johnson, both of them very successful athletes. They've done a lot of really good things for us. John offensively led the conference in points this year, and Dan is, I believe he's currently sitting 7th in the state in ground ball.
Well, Coach, we appreciate everything you do for lacrosse, and I know we're going to get on top soon and be bringing hardware home with us for boys lacrosse.
Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, it's Al Nygren, Executive Director and Curator of the New Jersey International Film Festival here. This is the first of our 3-part interview series, although this first part is just going to be featuring me, telling you a little bit about the upcoming lineup we have for the New Jersey International Film Festival. The festival itself will run from May 29th through July 10th on select evenings. Most of them are on the weekends, although there's one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, one on Thursday, and a couple of others that are during the week. And those will be free, and they're being sponsored by the Rutgers University Summer Session, and they'll feature films that are mainstream films like American Hustle, Ride Along, Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and there'll be another couple that will be announced shortly. So you can check out our website, which is www.njfilmfest.com, to get complete information about our festival. But I wanted to point out some of the highlights for you for our competition films. The New Jersey International Film Festival is in its 19th year, and it's been running in the summer since back in 1996, I guess, yeah. And we ask for filmmakers to submit films from all around the world. We received 357 this year, and we have a very, very well-established jury of students, media professionals, academics like myself, former winners, and interns looking at these films. And there's a 2-tiered jurying process where that 357 is boiled down to about 150, and then those are watched by another jury made up of similar individuals, and they select the final 24 films that we will be screening between May 30th and June 14th. and they'll be taking place on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings, with the exception of Father's Day. So there's 8 programs that are all competition films. There's short films, student films, animation films, you name it, we have it. We have a film for every interest out there. Our opening film is on Friday, May 30th, and features 3 short films followed by a feature. The 3 short films all kind of have a science fiction vibe. Into the Dark by Lucas Hassel somehow reminded me of a new film called Under the Skin and Gravity. They have this outer space claustrophobic feel, but was really, really well done. The Wanted ad is by local filmmakers Toby Sigona and Keith St. Lawrence, and is about 1920s young people who are teleported to the 21st century, and a lot of the film was shot at Rutgers University, so it's perfect for us. Chasing the Past is by Jonathan Salemi, and this film is also about some alien visitor who changes the future. So those 3 films definitely go together. The feature film is by Jenny Matz, and it has a Jersey theme as well. It follows the Rye Coalition Band, which was a series of young people who were making music in the 90s, and it's a kind of rise and fall of this, celebrated indie rock band. And a lot of the band members will be there, as well as the director. It's getting its world premiere at our screening, so we're very proud of that. That's on Friday, May 30th. On Saturday, May 31st, we have 2 short films followed by an amazing feature film, which we will also profile here in our interview series. So you'll get to meet Judy White, who's the screenwriter and producer of the film, next week. And her film, Lies I Told My Little Sister, was also shot in New Jersey and follows a kind of dysfunctional family as they try to make their way through a tragic event. It's really a lot of fun. It's a comedy-slash-drama that I highly recommend. Features some name actors, and Ellen Foley, who plays the mom, you may remember from her great singing in the Meatloaf album. And she's also an accomplished musician and performer. So she's going to be at the screening, so come and check it out on May 31st. The opening weekend concludes with some amazing horror movies. And the feature that night is entitled Horror Film by Sebastian Wachecki, and he is from Germany. This amazing film pays homage to the great silent films of 1920s Germany, films like F.W. Murnau's Nosferatu and Fritz Lang's Metropolis. So this movie is really, really wonderful, beautifully shot. The acting is amazing. It's a film like you've never seen. So come and join us on Sunday, June 1st. On June 6th, if you like kind of crime dramas that have a local flavor, Joe Basili's West End is shot on the Jersey Shore, and Joe likes to call his film a kind of Hamlet on the Jersey Shore, and I recommend that film to you on Friday, June 6th. And then on Saturday, June 7th, an amazing documentary by Joe Seibert entitled The Sax Man, which follows this amazing saxophone player who was a street musician who rose to fame. So if you're familiar with the film Rodriguez, this is along those lines, although I think it's a better film if you ask me. And we'll be screening that on Saturday, June 7th. Sunday, June 8th, another musical artistic film as the feature. Lynn Folks, one-man band, the most famous artist you never heard of. This fellow is an amazing, amazing artist, and if you're into art and music, you should be there for that screening. We have some other great films. I know you all like Stiller and Mirror. Well, Ben Stiller is not in this film, but his dad is, and it's called Simpler Times, directed by Steve Monarch. And Jerry Stiller plays this elderly man trying to make sense of 21st century technology. It's a hysterical film. I highly recommend it on Friday the 13th, Friday, June 13th. The feature that evening is by Jamie Chambers from London, England. It's entitled Blackbird. It's an amazingly moving film about Scottish music and how the past is being forgotten in this little town. It's really a perfect film for simpler times, and they go together very nicely, and both the filmmakers should be there for the screening. Brad Mays' I Grew Up in Princeton is a film for anybody who grew up in Princeton in the 70s and 80s. It's really an amazing documentary, and I hope you can join us. That will be on the closing night, which is Saturday, June 14th, closing night of the competition films. So thanks for listening to this long ramble, and hope you'll come and join us at our wonderful film festival, which is free and open to the public as far as parking goes. You have to pay $10 to get into the screenings. There will be free food courtesy of Jimmy John's of New Brunswick prior to each one of these screenings, and you can get complete information at our website, which is www.njfilmfest.com, or you can call us at 848-932-8482. Thanks so much for listening.
Are you aware that every 53 minutes someone is killed in an alcohol-related crash? That equates to over 27 people every day. In addition, drivers falling between the ages of 16 and 19 are considered 4 times more likely to die in a crash than their college counterparts. Does this put your son or daughter at risk? I'm Patrolman Craig Hoover with the East Brunswick Police Department. In this segment of Street Smart, we'll discuss the dangers of alcohol abuse with regard to the upcoming prom and graduation season, and provide some additional safety tips for teens and parents. I'm here today with Patrolman Jim Angemeyer, the Police Department's Special Operations Unit, a certified expert in the area of DWI and drug awareness. Hi, Jim.
How you doing, Officer Hoover?
Jim, this time of year with senior proms and graduations on the horizon always raises concern for us in the law enforcement field. What areas of concern should parents and teens have when it comes to these events?
Well, a lot of it has to do with transportation nowadays. A lot of these kids have probationary driver's licenses when they're getting out of high school or they're just getting ready to graduate. This time of the year, prom season, they're traveling a lot. They're going back and forth, whether it's going to be going to a party, whether they're going to be going to a school for a graduation party, or actually for the prom itself. So in that sense, that you got to make sure that they're traveling with either somebody else who's a family member. They're not traveling with numerous kids in the car. They're wearing their seatbelt at all times when they're in the vehicle. And they also have to abide by the laws of having that sticker on the car, the orange sticker that they put on their license plate. And the times of travel, they're not to be out at night after 11:01 to 5 a.m. in the morning unless it's for an emergency purposes. But if they are stopped during them times, that it not only affects them and their driver's license, where it's a probationary license, they can have their license taken from them for up to 90 days from a judge. It also affects the parents because at the time the officer has their obligation to tow the vehicle if it's in the roadway that night, and it can affect the parents in that way when it comes to money to have to get the vehicle out of the impound yard. When it comes to involving alcohol or drugs nowadays, you got to make sure the kids are, the parents should be aware of who their children hang out with. At this age, obviously they should know who their friends are and how they're getting to the party, and what vehicle they're taking, whether they're using their own vehicle or if they're going with other friends and then possibly that friend's been drinking or driving or been under the influence of drugs. At the same time, a lot of these schools nowadays actually use transportation as a bus, where they don't allow any of the kids to drink before they go to a party. So utilize the buses that the schools provide nowadays to go to the prom. And if they're going to travel down to the shore, to know who they're traveling with, and if they're going to be taking their parents' car, that everything works properly, and that they go down in a safe manner between the times of the hour they're supposed to be operating the vehicle. Well, fatigue is a big thing. Nowadays, fatigue can be just as bad as drunk driving. And if alcohol is involved, you're talking about alcohol being a depressant, is going to slow everything down as well. So now your reaction time totally changes when you're operating a motor vehicle, as well as having drugs involved in that, if there's possibly any drugs involved. Whether there's antidepressants involved or any other narcotics that somebody might have taken, they got to be very careful when they get behind the wheel of a vehicle, for the fact that, not only being tired from a long day, and being out late from the graduation and going to a graduation party or the prom itself, they are then if they possibly had alcohol involved or not, it's going to set in. But they got to be real careful, make sure to get a good night's sleep the night before. It's kind of just like in an event with a sport. You always want to get good rest, the night before or the day before, and make sure you're prepared for the following day on what you're going to do on your agenda.
Okay. Now, if somebody doesn't heed that advice and they go out, maybe they do some underage drinking and do decide to get behind the wheel of a vehicle, or maybe it's a sister or friend that's driving after these parties and they're of age, but they're still out there, what kind of penalties would somebody be looking at with regard to DWI and or underage drinking?
Well, first of all, you got a lot of penalties that you can deal with. As a probationary driver, your license can be taken from you right away from the judge. If you're caught under the influence of drugs or alcohol, we'll start with alcohol. You're looking at a possible loss of license for up to 3 months, maybe longer, depending on what what your blood alcohol concentration is that you blow, your BAC. Obviously, as a teenager or anybody under the age of 21, zero tolerance. We, as the East Brunswick Police Department, are highly trained in the enforcement of drunk driving. All of our officers are, and we would take a zero tolerance approach for anybody under the influence of alcohol or drugs, especially those who are underage. When it comes to drugs, we also have officers that are trained. They're called DREs, drug recognition experts. If, for instance, a son or a daughter of one of these family members is stopped for drunk driving or under the influence and the officer doesn't detect the odor of an alcoholic beverage at that time, they can call out one of these officers that are trained to look for other clinical indicators that the person might be under the influence of a drug and put them through different tests, and they can be brought back. So not only are you being charged with drunk driving, you're also being charged with a criminal offense for under the influence of a drug. So they're all enhanced penalties that come along with part of this, drinking and driving. So it's just not worth it in the long sense, in the long run when it comes to your insurance and losing your license. And today, what people need to remember is driving in the state of New Jersey is a privilege. It's not your right, and it can be taken from you at any time.
Now, Jim, what about parents who may host a party or supply alcohol to minors? What concerns do we have here as law enforcement, and what kind of penalties should they face?
Well, we have a major concern when it comes to civil liabilities. I mean, now you have kids at your house that are drinking. Whether you're there or not, you can be still charged with it. We have a township ordinance that was recently passed a couple years ago, specifically for this law, that if we come across a party and there's 25 kids there, we're calling 25 parents and notifying them, and we're also getting hold of the parents if they're there, if they're not, and they can be charged criminally. They can also be charged with a township ordinance that we have, which is a fine that's set by the judge, and our judges don't take that very lightly. At the same time, you're looking at civil suits. If, God forbid, one of those kids leave that party and they've been drinking and they have an accident and they hurt themselves or somebody else, you're looking at a liability of where they were coming from that night and who they were hanging out with. And that's why we try to stress to the parents, know where your kids are going that night, know who they're going to be with, know who their friends are. If they're going to go to a party, make sure there's going to be parents there, and that alcohol hopefully is not going to be served there. We're not condoning the right for alcohol to be served, but that if it is, and that they don't feel comfortable there, that they can call their parents if they want to go home.
Thank you, Jim, for providing your insight today. I would also like to thank George Logan's Towing for providing the site for today's filming. On behalf of the East Brunswick Police Department, we're wishing you a safe and healthy graduation and prom season.